It's time for Betting Across America with your host, Patrick Meagher.
All right, it is Betting Across America. I'm Patrick Meagher. We welcome you in. VSiN, you can find us, VSiN.com, at VSiN Live on Twitter. We say hi, open up a new week. And as we look at the schedule, 9-game slate on the diamond today. You've got one early one going. The Yankees behind Paxton leading the Orioles, who got dusted to 23 runs on Saturday. We'll talk about the number they beat last night, though, which is incredible with a walk-off. But right now, top of 7, the Yankees lead behind Paxton, who's been really good in his last 2 starts. All you need to know about the Orioles and Yankees this year, the series lead for the Yankees, they're 13-2 on the year. So the pitiful Orioles in the Bronx for a double dip. As we welcome you in. We're going to do it. Listen, we're going to have a lot of fun today. We were just joking about this before the show started. This is exactly what the NFL would like every single week. They've taken over our minds. They've taken over our souls. You've got, and you can see at VSiN.com, you've got Thursday, 5 preseason games. You've got 3 preseason games on Friday. You've got another, 5 games on Saturday in the preseason. Sunday, you've got 2, and then they finish off week 2 of the preseason with 2 games on Monday night. So as they continue, the NFL, we love them, but they take over our souls this time of year. And we got 5 straight days of football coming up on Thursday with the, of course, Oakland Raiders. Tonight, you've got Hard Knocks Thursday night taking on the Cardinals. Okay, we're going to have our buddy Matty Simo, and I hope I said it correctly. He's a Vegas proxy. Those of you that are just getting used to wagering, maybe new to VSiN, you don't know what a proxy is. If you really start to get into the game, you're going to want a proxy, and Matty is one that can do that for you. I mentioned the preseason games. Also, I think if you're thinking about betting Miami or Washington this year, I'm going to break down the quarterback battles because I think it's a really, really important note. If Rosen or Fitzpatrick or Haskins or Colt McCoy or Case Keenum, that's really going to play into how you want to approach the Washington Redskins and, of course, Miami Dolphins this year when betting. So I'm going to get into that in just a little bit. And I have a little surprise for you. I got a win total in a team in the AFC North who I think is being slept on a little bit. And it has nothing to do with Cleveland, nor a bounce-back year from Pittsburgh. So I'll get into that team, AFC North, coming up in just a little bit. Dave Tooley is going to join his report here on Betting Across America. Okay, we're going to have Matty Simo in. But next, 3 games you're going to want to pay attention to tonight. Of course, I mentioned 9 games on the diamond, 1 underway right now with the double dip in the Bronx. I'm going to get to those 3 games as we continue. Don't forget, you can find the guide at VSiN.com to check out the college and pro football guide. It is Betting Across America. I'm Patrick Meagher as we welcome you back in. You can find us VSiN.com at VSiN Live. Let's get to 3 games I think you should be paying attention to tonight. And I'll start with the Astros. You know, that was a fascinating game yesterday. I've been gambling for a very long time. The number with the Astros, Verlander on the bump, closed at Caesars at minus 460. So the uninitiated, you had to lay $460 to win $100 on the Astros. And the Astros, a 2-run bomb from Ruiz off of the Astros closer Osuna and the Orioles. You also, run line-wise, you had to lay $260 if you wanted to lay a 1.5 with the Astros, which is a crazy number. But there it is. And then today, that's my first bet I want to take a look at. 82% of the money coming in on the Astros as the Astros travel from Baltimore to Chicago to start a set in the Windy City. Greinke on the mound, his second start, he was touched up for 5 runs in 6 innings in his opener against the Rockies. You can take a look there. Greinke, Cisse, the rookie for the White Sox, and right now that number's sitting at 275. You got to lay 275 with the Astros. The total 9.5 juice on the under, but an interesting matchup today as Greinke's a weird cat. You don't ever really know what you're getting from him, and he gets, as I mentioned, his second start with the Astros, and that number, let me make sure we get that number. Okay, so it's 275 on the bet number 1 consensus with the Astros, 82% of the money on Houston in Chicago. The second game, two teams heading in opposite directions. The Red Sox and Indians. You can take a look at the line up at VSiN.com. And the Red Sox Indians, Rodriguez, who has been probably the most consistent starter for the Red Sox this year. The Red Sox are laying 120. You can come back the other way with the Indians at plus 110. Interestingly enough, well, because two teams, as I mentioned, going in opposite directions, Zach Plesac on the bump for the Indians. 66% of the money, 66% of the money coming in on the Indians, and there's a reason. The Red Sox have lost 11 of 14 games. They just have not found consistency after that tremendous year last year. The Indians, on the other hand, have won 9 of 12. One team's hot, 66% of the money coming in on that team. The Red Sox dropped the last 2 of a 4-game set at home against the Angels. Still, the Rodriguez leads the team with 13 wins. Zach Plesac, Cleveland. The team has won 8 of his last 9 starts, which is tremendous. You know, I was digging a little bit deeper in our second game here, and the first 5, Rodriguez and Plesac, have been tremendous over the last 7 or 8 starts in the first 5, so something you may want to note. And Rodriguez is facing the Indians for the first time this season. Number 3, as far as 3 bets you're going to want to follow, D-backs and Rockies. You can take a look there. It's a pretty even matchup as far as the odds are concerned. The Rockies, you lay 110. And this is an interesting matchup as well. I've got 63% of the money coming in on the Rockies. But the 2 teams going in opposite directions. The confidence right now for the D-backs is off the charts. And again, that total is 14. Yeah. 115 on the under, 14 in Colorado, but a very confident Diamondbacks team. It's really interesting. Would they trade Greinke July 31st? Since then, they've gone 5-4. 3 games out in the second wild card spot in the NL. 3-game series they just wrapped up. Tough loss yesterday in Los Angeles for the Diamondbacks, 9-3. But if you take a look at the game, you've got Kelly on the bump, Merrill Kelly on the bump for the D-backs, and then the rookie Lambert. Okay, so Kelly, 0-2 his last 2 starts, 6.39 ERAs, this year against the Rockies. And he hasn't won a game since June 12th. And in his last 9 starts under Kelly, the team is 1-8. So that's pretty disastrous. And then the rookie Lambert as well. So those are the 3 games you're going to want to pay attention to. As we open up betting across America, we'll get to who's pitching in the double dip there in the Bronx with the Orioles and the Yankees hosting, and continue to go around baseball as we unload the show here on VSiN.com, at VSiN Live on Twitter. With that, let's open and welcome our first guest, Matty Simo, and I hope I say that correctly.
That's okay. It's actually Simo.
Simo.
But everyone butchers the name. That's why I go by Vegas Matty most of the time. So it's Vegas_Matty on Twitter. But yeah, don't worry about that. You're not the first. You won't be the last.
Well, first off, welcome to the show. And for those that don't know, Matty is a Las Vegas proxy. So we're getting a ton of new listeners to VSiN. Sure. So this may sound very basic and rudimentary.
There's no basic questions when it comes to this. Yeah.
What the heck is a proxy, Matty?
Yeah. I mean, basically, we are paid to submit picks in Las Vegas football contests for people who are out of town or out of state and want to enter these contests, like the Super Contest, the Circus, Sports Million, which is new this year. So basically, anybody who wants to find out more about these football contests can go to footballcontest.com, which is our website, and then basically set up an appointment to meet with us, and we'll accompany you to the window and get you signed up, and then basically we're kind of the middleman between them getting their picks into the sportsbook every week.
Okay, I want to get to the contest, the
Sure.
Super Contest, which has been established, been around for a while. It's the biggest NFL betting contest around. A lot to it as far as credibility in the industry for those that are betting. Circa Millions new this year, which we'll get to in just. So basically, you're a numbers runner. You take people's money. You're an accountant, is what you are.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, we have a very we have to be very organized. We handled over 11, close to about 1,200 entries total across all the football contests last year. This year, we're looking at probably a little over 1,500, somewhere around there. So yeah, between me and my partner Tony Law, we are responsible for submitting the picks and then double checking all of them, you know,
I was going to say you have some mad customers if it's not
exactly.
fastidious.
So yeah, we double check everyone's picks before we leave to make sure they're 100% accurate, and that's why there's 2 of us. Otherwise, there's no way we can handle that kind of business.
Okay, so again, if you want to get in, it's footballcontest.com. Matty Simo joining us here, Betting Across America. I'm Patrick Maher, VSiN.com. If you would like to follow along with the stream, at VSiN Live on Twitter. So you've been doing this now for about 10 years here in Vegas.
Yeah, a little further back. I mean, we Tony and I each were proxies going back to like even 2005, and we just had done it for a few hundred, or not a few hundred, what am I talking about? A few people each. And we teamed up in 2009, and that's when we formed the business. And at that point, the Super Contest only had 328 entrants in it.
That's insane.
And if you think about it, we had a guy who finished 4th that year. He made a little under $20,000. Last year, 4th place made over $200,000.
And how many entrants last year in the Super Contest?
Last year there was 3,123.
And it's only incremental. It's going to go up every
Yeah, I mean, they expect
year.
to hit 3,500, maybe a little bit more than that. We'll see. The Circus Sports Million down at the D in the Golden Gate has kind of cut into the market share a little bit. We have a lot of clients who are choosing to do that contest over the Super Contest, and then we have a lot of people who want to do both.
Why is it, Matty, that you need a proxy for these contests? It seems like it would be much more efficient, obviously, with legalized gambling now, reached its 9th state. But here in Nevada, you have to be in Nevada to place the bet for the Super Contest. Mm-hmm. Are they eventually going to expand online and make it more efficient for out-of-state bettors?
Well, the Westgate and Circa both have the contest up on their apps, their mobile apps. So if you're in Nevada, you can enter your picks on your mobile app this year for the first time.
Okay.
And then basically it's up to other states to kind of, legalize whether you can do that across state lines. That's where we come into play. And,
I'm not trying to take your word from you. No. I'm just trying to understand.
Question. I mean, we know we're kind of on borrowed time here. We know it's at some point it's going to end. We try to get another year every year, and it's been going, good. I mean, I thought we'd be done by now, but it's just another year.
It's a brilliant idea.
Kind of, we're looking at maybe, hopefully, another couple of years, but we'll see what happens. But the main thing, and this is just to differentiate, it's not a betting contest; it's a handicapping contest. So when you take the betting into it, that's when you're betting against like live lines and things like that, and that's why we're able to do what we do. The Nevada Gaming Board has worked with the Westgate for years with the Super Contest, where you're talking about stale lines, static lines that do not change. When they set the lines on Wednesday, that's what you're using, no matter when you put your picks in.
Yeah.
So that's why it's considered a handicapping contest and why we're able to do what we do. If it was a live betting contest, then you're talking about like a runner situation, which is considered illegal, like running around to different books trying to get different lines and the best line possible. But it is a handicapping contest, and that's just something that's been in place for a long time. And then the other contests around town kind of jumped into that because, they want to bring people in from all over the country. I mean, we've been signing up people since March 1st in these contests. Pretty much been down at the book every day, and between the various sports books, and they're getting people who not only sign up for the contest but also open a mobile account, place bets, futures bets, bet on baseball or whatever sport's going on. So the main kind of goal of a football contest originally was to bring people into the book, And then every week, if you're a local, you've got somebody coming into the book every week for 17 weeks at least, and they're going to spend money while they're in there. So that's kind of, it's evolved more, as people could find out, they could use a proxy. The contests have skyrocketed.
Completely blown up. I want to get into that, and we're joined in studio here, Betting Across America, Matty Simo. He's a Las Vegas proxy, tremendous, at Vegas_Matty. You can also find him footballcontest.com. He and his partner, I would imagine you don't sleep much during the fall, and there's a lot there's a lot of running around. But let's talk about the explosion in popularity of these contests. I mentioned there's a lot of clout that's associated with the Super Contest as well. Why don't we start there, Matty?
Sure.
For those that are uninitiated, exactly what is the contest if they wanted to get involved through your proxy, and how it goes, because you got to get the bets in early.
Sure. So the way the Super Contest works, it's picking 5 NFL sides each week. The lines come out about 3 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday. Those are locked in.
You got to use those numbers.
Yeah, and then you have until 11 a.m. on Saturday morning to get your picks in. With us, it's a few hours earlier just because we have so many clients and we want to make sure we can double check everyone's picks before we leave.
Yeah.
And then if you want to play a Thursday game, you got to have all 5 picks in at the same time. You can't just play the Thursday game and then leave your other 4 for Saturday. You have to play them all at the same time. The Circus Sports Million, which is new this year.
Real quickly, how much is the how much is the fee to get into that contest?
The entry fee is $1,500.
So it's $1,500
for the Super Contest, and then the Super Contest Gold has the same exact rules, but it's a winner take all for $5,000. And then the Circus Sports Million is $1,000 entry, and you could buy up to 3 entries compared to 2 in the Super Contest. Their lines come out Thursday by 10 a.m. Pacific time, and then the deadline is later on Saturday. It's 3 p.m. Pacific time.
I just realized you got the footballcontest.com gear on. Did you bring me a T-shirt, Matty?
You know, I'll have to find one. We didn't make T-shirts this year because the sign-up started a lot earlier. I didn't have a chance to turn them around, but yeah, we'll make sure you get something.
Thank you. Same question about the Circa Millions, which is new this year. Derek Stevens, a brilliant mind. A lot of people excited about the Circa Millions. Exactly, for those that don't know, what is it?
Well, it's a very similar style contest, but the best part about the Circa Million contest is that they have quarterly bonuses. So if you happen to catch fire for 4 weeks, like whether it's the first 4 weeks, the second 4 weeks, there's 4 bonuses that pay $50,000 a piece. And I think that's really the biggest appeal. The main reason I've heard people wanting to get into that contest is that there's more ways to win with that contest. They only pay out the top 10 opposed to the Super Contest that pays out the top 100.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are interested of the possibility of having an overlay in there, and a lot of people have questions about that as well. And the magic number for them to break even on that contest is 1,500 entries. So if there's a guaranteed $1.5 million in that contest, the winner gets $1 million. And if they fall below 1,500 entries, then that there's an overlay there. So that's something that appeals to a lot of people because it seemingly increases your odds of winning.
And how much to get into the Circa Millions?
It's $1,000.
$1,000.
Yep.
Okay, so Matty, I wanted to ask you. You mentioned close to 3,400 contestants in the Super Contest last year, somewhere around
3,100.
there. 3,100.
Yep.
Okay, 31. They're looking maybe 3,500 this year, so it's going exponentially up every single year. With your service, the proxy service, it's again footballcontest.com, but how have you noticed the numbers from out-of-state contestants go up over the past, let's say, 3 years? Has it been crazy?
Yeah, I mean, it's been up. Like, when we started out, we had like 11 clients back in 2009, sorry. And, we doubled the next year. All of a sudden, we had 100. Then we had 200, 400. And then the last couple of years, we've handled over 1,000 entries, and we're on pace to do well over that this year again. So, yeah, I mean, the word gets out. I mean, VSiN has certainly helped. The Circus Sports Million, I think, will pick up a lot of steam. I think they'll get over 1,000 entries. The Super Contest will get over 3,500, and then next year with the Circus Sports Million, I would expect that to double, like the number of entries, just because coverage, people find out about it, and then within a couple years, I really think the Circus Sports Million is going to rival the Super Contest in terms of entries. Just when the new property opens, December 2020, the 2021 Circuit Contest, I mean, it's going to be unbelievable.
Who are you a fan of? I just want to give a quick update here. Betting Across America, I'm Patrick Maher. Matty Simo in studio with us. The total, I think today, Orioles-Yankees with Paxton on the bump for the Yankees was 11. We're sitting on it right now. Yep, top of 8. The Yankees lead 8-3. You can see where that number came in. It wasn't as insane as far as the Orioles and the Astros yesterday, which was something we haven't seen in a long time. But you did have to. You can just throw that one more time up for me. VSiN.com. You can see the graphic. If you wanted to back Paxton and the Yankees today, you had to lay a big number. I think it was close to 340. So minus 340 on the Yankees, handily taking care of the O's in the Bronx. And there's going to be a double dip, of course, tonight. There it is last night. Have you seen a number like that? At Stations Casinos, it was $550 to win 100 on the Astros.
I've never seen a number that high in a baseball game.
I haven't either. All right, we're going to have more with Matty. You can find him at Vegas_Matty. He's a Las Vegas proxy. Also want to talk to Matty about how different markets coming into betting, obviously with Jersey blowing up and Pennsylvania blowing up. Maybe we'll expand footballcontest.com proxy all over the country. And if you want to get involved in a contest, whether it's Super Contest, Circa Millions, we'll tell you how and how you can use Matty coming up next as we continue. It is Betting Across America. You can always find us. It's VSiN.com. Give us a follow on Twitter at VSiN Live. More with Matty Simo next here on Betting Across America.
If you didn't catch VSiN last week, here's some of what you missed.
I think right now, if I had to pick one team based on, I think, the combination of schedule and talent and coaching and the price, I might lean towards Minnesota. I think the way they finished the year last year, I know they haven't named the starting quarterback, but I think they feel comfortable with either guy. They keep it running back. The way the year went on, I mean, they had their inconsistencies last year, blowing out some teams that they should have and some absolutely mind-numbing losses as well. But that was a perfect spot for P.J. Fleck to land, and it appears now he's gotten the buy-in. I hate that whole bowl momentum stuff, but the way they finished the year, I think that matters for a program like Minnesota.
So I think you're going to see, a potential for a season where you have more teams win over 100 games, and you have a potential to see more teams losing over 100. I just think that the outliers are going to be more pronounced with this earlier trade deadline, and I think that means that, on the season win totals, you really got to take into account the owners and who's going to make a move, who you are going to predict is going to make a move to trade up, and who's going to end up selling off.
Are you buying the Huskers? Can they go over their win total? Can they come out of that side and play in the Big Ten title game?
The hype train on Nebraska, rather, I think, is the train that's the most runaway train in all of college football this offseason. This is a team, obviously, that people want to be good. It's one of those things where we say, college football is better when certain teams are good, and Nebraska is probably one of those traditional powers who fits that bill. I'm not buying the Nebraska hype yet. They're going to have to show me before I buy into it. I'm a little bit down on the Cornhuskers this year.
The greatest player of all time, and I will sit here and defend this to my death, Barry Lamar Bonds, right? Who there should not be a Baseball Hall of Fame. He's not in there. Don't debate me on this. But if Barry, what was Barry Bonds' the sleeping thing with him is the fact that he would see one pitch, right, per like a 10-pitch at-bat. One. And Bonds was just that quick in recognizing it and with his bat to be able to exploit it every time.
For sports bettors, sharp is a philosophy. It's a mentality. Thing is, you never have to get sharp if you stay sharp. It's expecting the unexpected and staying on the cutting edge. It's the sports book you've been waiting for, with the easiest app, best prices, and most unique markets across all your favorite sports. So the question is, are you sharp enough?
All right, bases juiced, by the way, in the Bronx. The Yankees lead the O's 8-3, but bases loaded. So if you have an over ticket, that total ended up closing at 11. So we'll keep you updated there. The first of 9 games on a Major League Baseball slate. You got a double dip in the Bronx there. We'll get you the starters coming up in just a bit. I gave you the 3 games that we're watching here on Betting Across America. The first one, the Astros in Chicago to take on the White Sox. Baltimore to Chicago for the Astros. Greinke opened a 275 favorite. I saw it go up to 285, and there it is, VSiN.com. Greinke now a 285 favorite. He did get touched up, remember now, in his first start for the Astros. The Colorado Rockies touched him up for 5 runs in 6 innings. Cisse, the rookie, last time out, he actually beat the Tigers 2 runs in 5 innings, but he's never faced the Astros before. Here's where the Astros are vulnerable and why I'm concerned about them moving forward. Osuna, he gave up the walk-off to Ruiz in Baltimore yesterday. Their closer is vulnerable. He's 5 blown saves on the year, so that's number 1. Red Sox and Indians, and by the way, 82% of the money, the consensus going on the Astros and Greinke. Indians, at Progressive, the Indians, 66% of the money backing the Indians. They actually had plus money, plus 110 if you want to bet on Zach Plesac. Eduardo Rodriguez has really been maybe the most consistent second starter for the Red Sox this year, and he is laying 120. That total 10.5. But this couldn't be more a tale of two different teams. This is a red-hot, obviously, Indians team, winner of 9 of 12. The Red Sox have lost 11 of 14. Just dropped the last 2 of a 4-game set at home. They're a bad baseball team right now, and it's not getting better. And then number 3 that I'd like to follow along throughout betting across America here on VSiN, D-backs and Rockies. Very interesting game with the D-backs and Rockies. The D-backs are a confident team right now. They dealt Greinke July 31st. Goldschmidt no longer there, obviously. But since the trade, 5-4. They're 3 games out in that second wild card spot in the NL, and they open up a 3-game series. And so the D-backs at the Rockies right now, that total, by the way, is a bananas total. This total set at 14 in Colorado. With it being hot, you're going to get those big numbers. You got Kelly on the bump and Lambert, the rookie, for the D-backs. Okay, so those are the 3 we're following betting across America as we welcome you back. I'm Patrick Maher. Dave Tooley is going to be joining us coming up at the top of the hour, but right now, and I'm going to nail the name, I promise you, it is Matty Simo, and he is at Football Contest on Twitter, a Las Vegas proxy, footballcontest.com. And we were let's update the numbers. And also, for those that don't know, you can use Matty's service as a proxy to get involved in these contests. And I know I have a couple of friends from Michigan that do it every year. They put down the 1,500, but they go in it as a team.
Yep.
It's more of a fun thing because, listen, 3 straight years, I believe you said, the winner had hit over 70% of his bets.
Yeah, a few years ago.
That's insane, Matty.
Like 3 out of 4 years, I think over 70%. Last year, I think it was close to that. But yeah, it's crazy every year. It's almost like you have to catch lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. 70% win. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, we had the Pigskin Junkies last year who tied for second, and they did not have a losing week until week 16. And they went 2-3 the last 2 weeks, and it was 1 game short of winning $1.4 million. So,
but do you find, like I said, a lot of my friends from college and my friends from Michigan, they get together, they pool their money, and they just get into the contest for fun?
Yeah, the craziest thing was, I think we had a bunch of guys that came in Super Contest weekend. They had like 20 guys or something like that. And I don't know how
do you get a consensus?
How you get on the phone and talk about it, like what you're going to pick, or maybe there's guys that your week is up this week or something. But yeah, that was I think the craziest was, and I didn't know like how they were going to put those in, come to a consensus on that. But everyone likes to do it different ways. Some guys go solo, others like the team concept, and it works differently for different people. If
you want to use Matty's service, it's footballcontest.com. We come back, I'm going to tell you directly how you can do it. I think what's starting to happen now, and I notice it with my friends as well, is people are intimidated by gambling because the numbers intimidate them. They're new to it. But again, that taboo's starting to relinquish a little bit, and people want to get involved. So using a proxy here in Vegas with the contest is a great way to do it. So we're going to continue. Matty Simo.
You got it.
Nailed it. It is footballcontest.com as we continue. It is betting across America. I'm Patrick Maher. You can find us at VSiN.com and at VSiN Live. We continue with Matty, then Dave Tooley coming up at the top of the hour right here on VSiN.
Catch VSiN last week, here's some of what you missed.
I think right now, if I had to pick one team based on, I think, the combination of schedule and talent and coaching and the price, I might lean towards Minnesota. I think the way they finished the year last year, I know they haven't named the starting quarterback, but I think they feel comfortable with either guy. They keep it running back. The way the year went on, they had their inconsistencies last year, blowing out to the teams that they should have, and some absolutely mind-numbing losses as well. But that was a perfect spot for P.J. Fleck to land, and it appears now he's gotten the buy-in. I hate that whole bowl momentum stuff, but the way they finished the year, I think that matters for a program like Minnesota.
So I think you're going to see, a potential for a season where you have more teams win over 100 games, and you have a potential to see more teams losing over 100. I just think that the outliers are going to be more pronounced with this earlier trade deadline, and I think that means that, on the season win totals, you really got to take into account the owners and who's going to make a move. Who you are going to predict is going to make a move to trade up, and who's going to end up selling off.
Are you buying the Huskers? Can they go over their win total? Can they come out of that side and play in the Big Ten title game?
The hype train on Nebraska, rather, I think, is the train that's the most runaway train in all of college football this offseason. This is a team, obviously, that people want to be good. It's one of those things where we say, college football is better when certain teams are good, and Nebraska is probably one of those traditional powers who fits that bill. I'm not buying the Nebraska hype yet. They're going to have to show me before I buy into it. I'm a little bit down on the Cornhuskers this year.
Hey, everybody, it's Paulie from VSiN. How many of you have something that hurts, like on your body? Right now, I've got this thing with my back, an old-timer, bugging the hell out of me. I heard about this stuff called Voodoo Pain Relief Cream, and I'm thinking, okay, what's this all about? Did some research, checked it out. Good, real good. Patented formula. Must mean something good. 11 anti-inflammatory ingredients. Sounds like a lot. Nanotechnology. No idea what that is. Must be good. Read the testimonials. Off the charts good. So I thought this might be BS, but I'll give it a shot. And what do you know? Boom, jackpot. What a move this was, trying Voodoo Pain Relief Cream. My God, my back feels better already. Now listen to me. I know everyone has something bothering them. Joint pain, arthritis pain, muscle pain. Do you want to feel better? Then get this stuff now. Go to voodoopainrelief.com and enter the code Paulie, and you'll get a special deal. voodoopainrelief.com, code is Paulie. voodoopainrelief.com, voodoopainrelief.com.
All right, it is Betting Across America. I'm Patrick Maher. We welcome you in, VSiN.com. Also, VSiN Live on Twitter. Matty Simo is joining us in studio. Las Vegas Proxy at Football Contest on Twitter, footballcontest.com. You want to get involved. And we were just talking a little bit off the air, Matty, as far as why, obviously, football is the most heavily bet sport, and the Super Contest canvasses that, and the Circa Millions, which is going to get going, the same thing. Will we see, with the explosion of wagering, are we going to see other year-long contests in other sports?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think logistically it's very difficult to do something for college basketball. I know March Madness is the second most popular event behind the Super Bowl. From a wagering perspective, and overall, like, the whole tournament is so popular, and it's growing every year. The problem is when you have like games kind of going off multiple times a week, and you have to set lines and try to turn around. And remember, these are static numbers, so it's like, you could set an opening number, and then all of a sudden the game gets bet up 3 or 4 points, and then a lot of people see value in that. People still will make their picks in the Super Contest, and I'm sure the Circus Sports Million the same way. They'll look at a line and bet blindly almost with the line movement and think that they're getting value one way or another. So it's very hard, like, because football is on a weekly basis. You could set the lines, and then the contest is, the games are played a couple days a week, 2 or 3 days a week, and that's it. By Monday night, you put it to bed, and then it's the next week. Where with basketball and things like that, I mean, unless you involve, like, DraftKings or FanDuel, where it was an online thing, they obviously can do that, and it's handled a little differently. But for casinos or sports books to do that, it's very difficult. That's why football contests are, the best way, to have a contest. Although the Superbook at the Westgate has done a great job. They had, I think, a golf contest this last year back in the spring with the majors, picking the majors. And then also they did do for the first round of the NCAA tournament, pick every game against the spread, but you had to register by a certain time. And then once those 2 rounds, or the first 2 days, were over, that was it. That was basically all they can do. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, I could see things like that maybe, but it's hard to do like a tournament wide contest. I mean, I don't know why somebody doesn't just do a March Madness pool.
I was going to say,
you know what I mean? And like a casino do it, or sportsbook. But you obviously have to pass everything through gaming, and it can be very cumbersome to do that. A lot of people with the Super Contest too are wondering, why don't they pay it out like the World Series of Poker and just do like a percentage of how many people are entering every year? Why is it the top 100 this year? And actually last year they wanted to do the top 75, but they changed it to top 100 because they thought that would last maybe a couple years. They want to keep like the top 2 or 3% winning the money, and you have to pass the rules every year.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, well, it's a percentage of this, and we'll see what that is, and then we'll determine the final pool. At least that's what my understanding is, and maybe that will change in the future, as these contests continue to grow. But right now, they have to kind of designate how many spots are paid out.
And if you're holding an over ticket in that Yankee-Orioles game, it hits top of the 8th. The Orioles have the bases juiced, but the Yankees lead 8-4. So that total ended up closing at actually 10.5 with the juice on the over at 115. So that total did hit, and the Yankees easily in command against the Orioles 8-4 as the Orioles walk home. Well, excuse me, the Yankees just walked another Oriole home. That's a double dip in the Bronx. We'll get you set up all 9 games, now 8 after this one in Major League Baseball. But Matty Simo is here. I mentioned it earlier as far as the proxy in different markets. All kidding aside, have you thought about expanding to Jersey,
We've thought
Pennsylvania?
about it, but
you can get me in the mix.
Yeah, first of all, the contests haven't started out there, which is very surprising.
They will.
I'm almost shocked that no New Jersey casinos have done a football contest. I mean, we're almost the middle of August, and I haven't heard a word about it. I know the Westgate Superbook was trying to get a presence out there, and they still might do it, but is it going to be in time for football? Probably not.
I can't believe they didn't have one lined up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work to try to get that stuff through the legislative system and make it happen. I'm from Illinois originally, and it's a cluster out there trying to get things up and running. They're talking about, maybe we'll have sports betting by the Super Bowl. Well, you miss out on a whole football season. You know what I mean? So
you just drive to Iowa.
It's crazy, yeah, for the time being, or Indiana or whatever. But it does take it's a lot of work. You got to give the staffs of like Circus Sports and the Westgate, the Golden Nugget, a lot of credit for putting these things together, because it is a staffing thing too. You have to be able to process these entries in a timely manner. We're bringing in a lot of people on a regular basis to sign up, and they need to be efficient in processing. You don't want the contestants to have a bad experience signing up. Jay Cornegay asks me all the time, what can we do better to kind of get people signed up and keep them happy, keep them coming back every year. And that's a real credit to them, especially at the Westgate. And I know this Circus team is doing a great job so far too.
The application betting in Jersey is just blowing up. It's like 80% of the bets being made are online or with the apps.
It's a little different there compared to here, and we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a possibility for there to be contests out there. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen this football season.
Okay, so and that's Jersey. There seems to be a bit of a battle here as far as handle with Jersey and Vegas.
Right.
I don't know if it's fiscal or ego, but there's definitely a battle where the money's going. Who's got the bigger handle?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean,
so many more people out there.
Yeah, Jersey's definitely picking up stream, and like you said, the app market is huge. I mean, I don't know what the percentage of people is, doing apps in Nevada, but that's really where the contest thing, they really want to push. I mean, the Westgate's going to have a new app in about a week that is going to allow you to make your super contest entries on there. And, again, once that at some point gets approved to, being able to submit picks across state lines, that's going to change the game. It's going to put us out of business. So hope that doesn't happen too soon. But at the same time, it's like, that's the future. I mean, it's all about having people deposit money in their apps and do everything from the app. But of course, there's also issues with technology too. You don't want to be, trying to put your picks in and the app goes down or something like that, and then you're SOL on that.
Okay, well, I can vouch for Matty Simo and footballcontest.com. If you'd like to use a proxy, I encourage you to use Matty. What's your partner's name?
Tony.
And Tony, get involved as well. And quickly, as far as getting involved, we just have about a minute here.
Sure.
Somebody's listening in Illinois right now, wants to be a part of your proxy.
Number one thing is just go to footballcontest.com. We've got a number of links for VSiN listeners especially. Go to footballcontest.com/VSiN. You can save $50 on the proxy fee for both the Super Contest and the Circus, so you could end up saving $100 off what we would normally charge. You've got information on all the contests. The rules are posted there. Everything you really need. And, of course, you can always reach out to us via email, proxy@footballcontestproxy.com. We're on it. That's probably our number one kind of thing that we do is we're very responsive with emails and better than any. I think we do that better than anybody, and that's why we get so much business.
This is good. This is a good guy. I can vouch for him. It's Matty Simo. It's footballcontest.com. You want a proxy? Coming up next, 9 games on the diamond. We've gone through 3. The rest of them to come as we continue. It's VSiN.com if you'd like to watch along. At VSiN Live on Twitter to follow. It's Betting Across America.
Awesome. Perfect.